I think the first poll we've done that involves UP was the March poll. And they are showing signs of resurgence, surprisingly, yes. And interesting as well for UP voters, we found out that they are the most educated voters.
Most educated?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, higher than the NDC, higher than MPP. However, in the voter region, those who are moving to UP are not MPP, rather NDC. If you look at Asedin Kite's performance against Bawumia, it is 51% against Bawumia, 39%. That's about 2%, 12% gap. But if you move up to, let's say, Harun Idris, I mean, the data shows that he does 54% against Bawumia, 37%. So that gap is much bigger than that of Asedin Kite. Now, if you go to ATO FORSON does 55% against Bawumia. Bawumia gets 37%. That is 18 points gap. So would I choose somebody who has 18 points gap to face an election? I'll choose the one that gives me 12 points gap. So naturally, statistically, I'll go for the one that gives me a chance. So I wouldn't be surprised if people are clamoring for Asedin Kite because probably they've seen some numbers and that may be guiding what they say. But for now, I think without any doubt, that ATO FORSON is the best performing candidate for the NDC at this moment. And if you look at the vote ATO FORSON gets among their candidates, it's much bigger than the vote that Asedin Kite gets against Bawumia. So the accounts rally behind ATO FORSON much more than they do for Asedin Kite. That is a fact from the data. Polls will be done. It doesn't matter what they say because the pollsters are not part of the government machinery. Pollsters are independent people and they let people see the views of the public, right? That doesn't mean that you should lose focus and be fighting among yourself as to who should lead. It's another weakest part of the government. I think in the next poll, we'll see how people perceive the government in terms of how they perform on the oral and the corruption fight. Overall, they think the government is doing enough in fighting corruption. But if you zoom down to oral itself, that's a different issue because look, you might be doing enough to fight corruption, but are you doing enough in holding people accountable for past deeds? I think that's where they're falling short. Recently, we put out a data, that's a fact, which showed how MPP has declined from being the party with the most voters to the party with the least voters.
From the most to the least?
Yes. And people sometimes are in denial to a point where you tell someone today that if you line up their accounts in Ghana here, out of 100, 40 will say they are NDC, 30 will say they are MPP. This is shocking because MPP has lost grounds in almost all of their account areas. If you sample people with degrees and above, 45% will say they are NDC. Only 25 will say they are MPP. Before, the elite are MPP voters. Now it's changed. People who are earning above 80,000 and above, most of them say they are NDC. So the high income earners have shifted from being MPP to being NDC. If you look at his approval rating as a president, he gets the approval rating now, in fact, per the March poll, every region in this country approve of the way he's doing his job. Just like him. Every region, no exception. All the 16 regions, approval rating is above 50%.
In all 16 regions.
And that is the first time we've seen this happen in our polling history. Never happened before. If we don't put this data out there, there will be no discussions at homes. And sometimes the politicians don't want this discussion to happen in the first place. Because it may be that he will not be the one who would benefit in the end. So such a person will fight against that. Or their accessories, people who are working for them, will do everything to tarnish your image. But they don't want the debate to happen in public like that. But we have opened the space. From MPP time, we did it. So why should we do anything different from the NDC one? I mean, we have to be very fair and unbiased to MPP. And that's the sole reason why I'm doing this job. That's the sole reason why Global Info is funding this as a CSR. We have no interest in shaping which party comes to power or goes to position. That is not our interest. If by so doing, we are able to let you know people's complaint and you fix it. We've done this for more than 6-7 years. We've always told the government in power what people were thinking. No, see, I'm not, in this job that I do,
Yeah.
I'm not motivated by money.
Okay.
No, money doesn't motivate me. People who know me know me. So for me, money is not a motivator. And again, this job is not my full-time job. I'm a consultant on my own. And I get job from being a consultant. And that job is not a polling consultant. You're financial and project consulting. So I don't rely on this. I do this job as a hobby.